Happy people, Tracy Reed here today with day 11 of my 2023 December daily. And today I'm going to be working with this foundation page that I created in day 2 of my No Stress December daily prep videos. And I have all of these circular photos, and I'm going to hop over into Photoshop and Silhouette to show you how I did these really easily. The first thing I'm going to do is use my shape tool and make three 2.5-inch circles because I have three 2.5-inch circle spots. And then I'm going to make three 1.75-inch circles because I thought I had three, but I really only had two 1.75-inch photos. And then I'm just going to drag and drop my photos from my folders right onto these circles. And if you hit Command Option or Control Alt G, it will automatically clip your photo to the shape that it's sitting directly on top of. So you want to make sure when you import them, you put them on top of the circle that you want them to fill. This rectangular photo, since it was a selfie, is a little bit too wide for a full circular photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move it up to the top, and I'll just cut off that piece of the photo, piece of the circle later on down the line. At this point, I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I eventually figured it out. So I saved it as a PNG with a clear, like a transparent background, and then I imported it to Silhouette, and I'm turning on the cut lines, and from here I will go ahead and print, and then I will send it to my Silhouette. Make sure that you always choose Photo Best when you're printing photos. And then I will send it to my Silhouette and have the Silhouette cut out these circles. So it was really super easy. You can do the same thing in Silhouette. I just don't find the Silhouette software to be very intuitive. It's better than for me, it's better than the Cricut Design Space, but it's still not as intuitive for me as Photoshop. So I prefer to just do it in Photoshop and import it over. Okay, so this layout, you would think it would be easy and done already, but it actually came with a lot of hemming and hawing about how I wanted to finish it off. It still came together fairly quickly. I didn't have to do a lot of work, but there were some things that needed to be changed from the original composition once I had photos in it. And that is why, for me, doing foundation pages really has to be something super simple, because I always end up doing a lot of deconstructing of my foundation pages because things change, right? And I don't like being locked into a specific orientation or a specific story for each day. That's why I do the no stress stuff. I just let the product inspire me, and if I have to go and change it down the line, then I will. This was actually one of the most intensive and completed foundation pages that I did, so that's why it's requiring a lot of deconstruction to make it work. So I decided I wanted to use this winter because it was a winter concert. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull that circle, both of those circles down on the bottom left page. I'm going to pull them both up, and I'm going to leave room for journaling instead. So I'm trying to get this up as much as possible. I know that I'm going to put a sticker over it so it's not too big of a deal, but I'm trying to make sure that the paper itself doesn't tear. If the stickers that are coming off tear a little bit, not a big deal, but the paper itself needs to stay intact. So I'm being real careful. I used an X-Acto knife to take off that label, since it was a label sticker and not a die cut. It came off a little bit harder. I'm going to take that cozy up as well. Cozy didn't really make too much sense with the photos, and also I need that room for journaling. So I used the alphabet from the collection, and for this page I'm using the Cocoa Daisy, what's it called? I don't remember what it's called. Oh goodness. Well, it'll be linked in the description box below. Let It Snow. That's what it's called. The blog post is linked in the description box below. I know that this is all sold out already. You gotta jump on Cocoa Daisy while it's hot. Subscribe if you want these specific collections, because there's never a lot of back order. I use an old Cocoa Daisy number as stamp for the 11 with some Catherine Pooler ink in Dress Blues. Then I printed out my journaling on clear sticker paper. I should have made it a little less than 6 inches wide, but it barely fit. We made it work. And it's just going to go right under Winter Concert. And yes, some of the snowflakes and on the paper itself obscure some of the words. Not a big deal. You can still read it well enough. The hardest part is always peeling the backing off. There we go. So gotta be real careful. Stick it down exactly where you want it. You can see I stuck it on accident a couple of times before I got it down, but if you pull it up quick enough, it'll still come up. And I actually really like the horizontal lines that this gives the page since there are so many circles, and I'm actually going to reinforce those horizontal lines with some of the washi stickers from the Modern Memory Keeping, or not Modern Memory Keeping, the Memory Keeping sticker kit. So I decided to add this border down here, and I really think that this really made the whole thing come together. It doesn't feel like it's floating anymore in space, so that was perfect. Then I'm gonna actually carry it over onto the next page, and I put it a little low or a little high, but it's not a big deal because they don't sit directly together in the album. Um, but I pulled off this label and instead I want to use a star. I felt like that label didn't make much sense down there since I wasn't going to add a caption, but I needed something heavy down there because the photos are nice and dark. So I wanted to add a little bit of dark down here at the bottom. So I decided to go with one of these stars that I had left over from when I was composing the page to begin with. And I think that that looked really good. And then the last thing I wanted to do was add some of these enamel dots. Now, if you know me, you know I struggle with the larger enamel dots always, but I wanted to incorporate them onto this page because I felt like I needed one more step down in the circle size for this page because I had these like that holidays and that December 2023 and that snowflake. They were smaller than the rest of the photos or the rest of the circles, and so I wanted like a step down. So the first thing I did was take the red enamel dots and put them in the middle of all of those stamped snowflakes, and then I tried to make a few other things work, but because I just couldn't in my brain wrap my brain around these largest enamel dots. But then I started interspersing them between all of the circles, kind of like they were, well, I mean, they are the circles or more of the circles in the composition, and I think that that started making it come together, and I really like how festive it looks as well. I do struggle a little bit with where to put each one, so a few of them go back and forth. I don't want like them right on top of each other. It's like you can see that blue one was right on top of the other blue one, so I'm kind of moving them around, making sure that the colors are varied and there's nothing like super close to another color of the similar range. Although I do end up with 3 reds right there, but I did like the way it looks, so not a big deal, I guess. So that's just it for this. I'm just going to fight with these enamel dots a little bit more until I get them all on the page, but I really like how it came out. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. There is a link in the description box below to the blog post for this page if you're interested in the credits or the still images for pinning. And yeah, I'll put this enamel dot down and I will be all done. All right, thank you.